Hi, I'm Moise and this is Austin, and we invented the Fun Doggy Theater.
Now, the Fun Doggy Theater is about people with back problems that bend down and can't do it, and then they eventually fall over or break out. So this is why we invented this, so that for your dogs, when they come down, they'll hear the noise and they'll get excited and go to the ball.
So we came yesterday, and so how we built it is we got the chop saw and we made it in different lengths. So, and it was really hard to cut this hole. We used a hammer drill to cut through it. And this, Austin taught me how to paint a little better. This used to be pink, but we changed it to red, and this used to be green, but we changed it to red too. And so we used this rough wood for each side instead of rough smooth, so because it will look bad. And well, we finished our display board, and how it was built. First, we obviously used the chop saw to cut the wood. We used the, after that, we put the plywood backing on, and we attached the four sides boards on the side. Then finally, we painted it. And this, there was some black on it, and it looked really bad, so we had to scrape it off. And so,
I'd say that's about it.
yeah.
Thank you.
And we attached his iPad on. There's some pictures. This is us with our invention in the back. And this is when we were painting it. We used a mat and we put silver on it. And then this is us again. There's one more. We used a chop saw. That's the chop saw. One of my dad's friends helped use the chop saw since we couldn't. So that's basically it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome. This is my Rube Goldberg machine, the Popper. A Rube Goldberg machine is a machine that takes a simple task, minus popping a balloon, which is why I named it the Popper, and makes it much more complex. This should only take a minute to set it back up, and I can entertain you with boring Rube Goldberg tasks while you're reading. This only had a minimum of 6 steps, but I have done it in 14, which if you look at some of the world-class Rube Goldbergs is not many at all. This also had a minimum of 4 simple machines used at least once, and I have used all 6 of them at least once. I have a wheel and axle on my radio-controlled car with a screw-like motor that powers it. The difference between radio-controlled and remote-controlled is that radio-controlled is wireless and remote-controlled has a wire controlling, connecting the remote to the toy. So I also have some levers. I have 4 books that I'm setting up right now, and they all act as levers, and so does the soccer player that kicks the golf ball up there. I have 2 pulleys here, and a tapered wedge, the letter opener. I also have inclined planes. I have a rain funnel over here, which has an extension down into the rain gutter, and that is an inclined plane. The rain gutter itself is an inclined plane. The drain pipe is an inclined plane, and so is the railroad track. I have 3 easy buttons, which all go in different languages. My first one is in English. That was easy. My second one is in Russian, and my third one is in Italian, tutto di facile. So I'll just be setting up this long in a minute. If you want any more clarity after of anything, I have my journal and my display board over that way. And I was running into a problem that it wasn't popping because the golf ball wasn't hitting this small book. And we thought that it was fanned out too much, but we pulled it in and that still didn't work. So we put our books closer together. That still didn't work. And then I realized this wood board over here, the fulcrum for all these 4 levers, wasn't straight. So yeah, that was disappointing. So I'll just set up these easy buttons and we'll be on our way. So as soon as I press this switch here, we'll be on our way because the wheels will turn the shaft.
And the purpose of this invention is to help stop the car's wheels when you are slipping on the icy road. The description is when you are driving on the icy hill and you come to a red light, you push this button on the steering wheel and a log will come down to stop the wheels from sliding. This is how I made it. If it was too heavy, it would flip over. So that's how I made it. I'm Sarah Dubé. My invention is the Bath Raider 3000, and it's for sometimes when you just want to relax in the tub with a good buck, things go terribly wrong if something happens. And accidents are called accidents for a reason, and I invented something so that there will be no more accidents with your buck getting in. What it is the Bath Raider 3000, and it will protect your bucks 100%, and it is crystal clear viewing with plexiglass, and we glued the plexiglass on with silicone and we bolted it together. So we also made a page turner, and this one's not working right, but you can get your bucks in and out easily by just removing the cap. And it doesn't just protect bucks. This doubles as a stylus so that you can also use your iPads or iPods or Kindles, whatever you'd like to use. And another thing that it does is it also floats. Instead of having it be down like that, it floats and it stays up. And it's also very, very light. And there's pretty much no chance that water will get into it because everything is sealed. There is a pipe right there where we put the rubber glove around it and attached the hose clamp to it so that it would stay. But we also put super glue in it. And then we put a dowel through it and stuck a rubber glove on. We stuck it through the rubber glove. And then the part that we cut that off, I was thinking if we wanted to make a stylus on it so that we could use our iPad with it, we could use the tip of the rubber glove. So we put some tissues in it, and the tip of the rubber glove works as a great stylus for it. And to flip the pages, what you do is you go to the top right corner, and then you go down. You go that way and down. I need to get more pages. But it goes up, and then you go that way and down. I haven't gotten really good at it yet. But it works very well when this isn't sticky and it's super glued on, nice and tight.
This is a kid picture, and I'm Karen. I'm doing work in grade 2. Why we made it is to help kids stop spreading germs, to give kids all the supplies they need while on the go.
When to use it. If you have a runny nose or need to sneeze,
If you have chapped lips or are bleeding,
if you need to clean your face,
if you need some gum or cough drops, and we made it from fabric and we used Velcro. And how we made it is we used hot glue and a sewing machine.
yeah, and inside of this we have chapstick, gum, and baby. And then, if you need it, and right here, you go on your nose and you fold it, and you put it in your pocket.
I'm Moliere, Tracy, and this is my menu. I invented Pizza. It's a game. This was my original game board. I was going to make it a little bit bigger on poster board. I was going to do a spinner, but I had to do dice instead when my mom pointed out that hot glue wouldn't work on poster board. This is my journal. There is instructions that come with it. So in Monopoly and Life, there's the little pieces that you move on the game board, and these are those. There's 8 pieces. There's the dice and the game board. There's my Intent to Invent over there, and this is my display board. This game is a very fun game. It is less complicated than other games, which makes it so junior players can play too. It is not the longest game, but it's still very fun. You can play with 8 people, and that's all. The category my invention best fits is fun and leisurely. This is the box that I decided to do. I used a pizza box, and Miss Hood pointed out that that would work very good. And there's the 2 dice. I was going to do a spinner right here with the spots on it, and then I recognized that I wasn't going to do a spinner anymore, so I would have to do dice. So I put the dice here. I have my owl, which represents Hoodsville, and the game that is super fun for everyone. That's it.
Hello, this is my invention, the wood splitter holder, and my name is Andrew Wilson, by the way. Well, it actually has a really funny story of how I got the idea. I was camping in Maine, and we had just gotten there. It was the morning we got there. I was holding the wood to split it, but then I missed, and it hit my hand, so I really had to get stitches, which really stung. So while I was in the hospital, I was thinking if there was something to hold the wood in place, like while you split it, it would be a lot easier. So I came up with the wood splitter holder. And I know it doesn't seem marketable because it's like big and bulky and it has like tons of sand weighing it in place. So it would be hard to bring in the car, but it actually really is. If you unscrew all these rods and take out the wood, then you can empty out the sand. You can like put a sleeping bag in it while you're in the car. Then when you get to your campsite, you can take out the sleeping bag, and then you can, with the shovel that would be included if you bought it, you could dig up the dirt or sand wherever your campsite is and fill it up to the line. And I know it takes time to screw in the wood, but that's way less time than it does to get stitches. So yeah, and it works similar to a Christmas tree stand. And I have a video of me demonstrating it with a real hatchet because I couldn't use the real hatchet in school. And it's pretty durable because on one of the tries I hit the side on this next try. See, this one I hit the side. So yeah, so that's my invention. The wood splitter holder. It'll really save you time when you're camping.
Hi, my name is Ethan Morgo, and this is a bike plow. As you can see, this guy is tired of shoveling snow. So I made a new, fun, cool way to plow snow with your bike, which pretty much everybody has. This is a list of how it helps. It helps in many ways because it clears narrow areas, it's kid-powered, always starts, and it's eco-friendly, quieter, easy to maintain, less expensive, good exercise, safe to use, and fun. This shows the average snowfall in New Hampshire. In Berlin, it snows at least 78 to 0.3 inches. But the most out of all of them is Mount Washington. It snows 281.2 inches. It works very well, and that's pretty much my invention. Thanks.
My name is Emma McNamara, and this is my invention, the ski boot scraper. It's an invention to get snow off the bottom of your ski boot because it's been a big problem for me because I'm a big skier, and when snow builds up in the bottom of your ski boot, it makes it very hard to click in. So that is how I would get snow stuck on the bottom of my ski boot. That's where I got the idea of inventing the ski boot scraper. The ski boot scraper is an invention to get snow off the bottom of your ski boot without kicking off using your binding. I broke a binding that way. This is how I built it. I drilled 2 holes for the fiberglass board for the screws and then used a bigger drill to countersink the screw heads. I screwed the screws through the fiberglass board into the door handle. This is a door handle, and this is fiberglass board. So after I got the invention itself built, I had to attach it to the ski. So for that, I sanded down the part of the ski I was going to put this on, and then I glued it on with Gorilla Glue, and I clamped it while it was drying so it wouldn't wiggle at all. And that's my invention. Special thanks to John Vaughn for all his help. And I also have signatures from everyone that's came so far that's had the problem that I had, so I invented my thing. And that's all.
Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here. I know it's a couple minutes early, but we haven't seen many new faces, so I think we're good to get started. The very first thing I'd like to do is ask the front row to stand up and face the audience. This is one dedicated group of kids, and I can't tell you how proud I am of them. They have worked hard, they've persevered, they've really done a nice job. So if we could just give them a round of applause. So this program gives our kids a great opportunity to use a lot of the skills they're learning in school. And it's across the curriculum. It also fosters the essential skills: logical thinking, creative problem solving, intellectual risk-taking, and communication. And all of these things go right along with Lin-Wood's 21st Century Learning Expectations, which is a bonus. It's been really fun seeing how these guys think and what they come up with. Before we go on to the awards, we do have some thank yous. I'd like to thank the families because I know it's not easy for you. And I really appreciate all the work that you've done. We have had a wonderful group of judges today. We had Lori Wiggett, Tony Alacqua from Bank of New Hampshire, Tammy Ham, O.J. Robinson, Maureen Palomino, Dave Webster, and Bob Davis. And I think they really enjoyed themselves. They were here for a few hours this afternoon. We also need to thank our prize sponsors. And before I say that, I just want to let you know, Lori Wiggett volunteered this year to take over the prizes for me. And she said, let me help you, this is what I do. So we owe an extra special thanks to her. But we also need to thank Bank of New Hampshire, Jean's Playhouse, and Dunkin' Donuts. Our refreshments this evening were provided by Mrs. McGinley's class and her Cater Tots, which is a food service class. I'd like to thank the Channel 3 crew. Turan's here with us tonight. We had a couple others up earlier this morning. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Davis. She's been my support through all of this. The Lin-Wood Education Association. Mr. Blakesley, I don't know if he's in here right now, but I certainly have disrupted his schedule quite a bit this week. Miss Houle, my right hand. And I have to also thank my husband because I made him work extra hard. And those of you that know him, you probably know how it went. So we were kind of tired of each other by the end. So anyhow, with all that said, we're going to go on to the prizes because I know that that's what everyone's waiting for. Are you? Or shall we talk some more?
No.
I can have someone else come up. You sure? All right. Moise, do you want to give a speech? You sure? All right. First thing, all of the inventors will receive a certificate of attendance, or participation, excuse me. They will also receive a pair of tickets to see the production of Just So Stories over at Jean's Playhouse. Okay, March 20th through 22nd. They're also receiving a $5 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. So you will have all of those at the end. I don't think we need to call you up one by one for that. Okay. We have multiple categories, and I will say any of the inventors tonight, if they so choose, and it works out for families, they are invited to attend the state celebration, which is March 28th at Merrimack Valley High School. It's a huge event, schools from all over the state. But all of you are invited if you want to. I'm going to give you a piece of paper at the end that has some information that I need, and I need it back tomorrow if you're going to go, because I have to register you. It's no big deal. It's name, email, simple, okay? So I would like to start with our Best in Grade awards. This is for the invention that received the highest score in each grade. We had students in grades 2, grades 4, and grades 5. Our grade 2, Best in Grade, goes to a little lady who worked really, really hard, and that is Caitlin Claremont. Grade 4, Best in Grade, Emma McNamara. Best in Grade, 5th grade, Andrew Wilson. We also have some other categories, the general categories. Most practical and useful invention might be the most marketable invention. And you may have noticed with the presentation of one of these students, it's definitely marketable, and I think that's what this person was going for. But we did have a tie. And most practical and useful award goes to Farah Duguay and Andrew Wilson. There's also a category for special needs. This is the invention that best addresses special needs of a disabled person. This was a close one, I will say, because we did have a couple out there. But the award goes to Moy Zawan and Austin Lowe. Congratulations. Fun and leisure, the best invention dealing with leisure times. Aaliyah Tracy. And we do have to give a little special shout out to Aaliyah. She's been working hard through this in spite of being out sick, and also participating in our Destination Imagination team. So good for you, Aaliyah. Way to go. Our next award is the Environmental Award for the invention that best helps the environment. Again, a tie. Ethan Wargo, 5th grade, and Dylan Blood and Kylie Claremont, 2nd grade. The last of our general categories, where the students will be receiving buttons, is the most original and unique. This again was another close one, difficult. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions. I'm glad I put it on someone else. Most original and unique this year goes to Farah. And we all want to mark it. Okay, I think this is probably what the group's really waiting for. These are the cash prizes. And I do wish that I could give every one of them something. And again, I'm so thankful I didn't have to pick which ones. I'm glad I have the judges to help out. This year, the Bank of New Hampshire bought $25 gift cards to Amazon. Last year, we had bookstore gift certificates, but because we don't have a bookstore close enough for everyone to get to easily, they decided they would do Amazon gift cards in the hopes that you would purchase a book or something science related. But we can't tell you how to spend your money. Just kind of strongly suggest. The first category is the Rube Goldberg Award. And Caitlin, you had no competition this year. And I think that's good for everybody else because you rocked it. You really did. Caitlin's been working very hard. She has best overall Rube Goldberg. We also have best overall for the general categories. This award goes to one of our fourth graders. And that fourth grader is Emma McNamara. We also have the Student's Choice Award, and this is a lot of fun because in the morning the students from the other classes come down and they view, just like you got to walk around. They had a time to come down and view. But they also go back to their classrooms and they vote. And they choose what they thought was the best. So we have a Student's Choice category. And this year, I have to say, it was really interesting because when I was tallying the votes, the kids were really honest. It wasn't, oh, this is my friend, or I think this is the best. You could tell that they really put some thought into it. And the inventors got to vote as well. And listening to them, I heard things like, I'd really like to vote for myself, but I really think so-and-so did a better job, so I'm going to vote for them. And something like that, that just made me so proud. And it really warmed my heart because they were really thinking about others. And that was great. Our Student's Choice for the general categories goes to Ethan Wargo. And I'm also working with Mr. Nelson. We're hoping that Ethan can produce 4 or 5 of these so our custodial crew can have the Plow Bike. We think that would be awesome. And I know Sam's all over it. He saw it today and he wanted to take it. So we'll see how it goes. And then our Student's Choice for Rube Goldberg goes to Caitlin Clark. Congratulations. So that concludes our our ceremony. Okay, Mrs. Davis wants to come up. So I'm going to just step out. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your children. I really appreciate that too.
So and I kind of like this because look how tall I am. Isn't this nice? So anyway, you guys know that this doesn't just happen by accident. This lady puts in so much time and energy. This is our 3rd year of doing this, and she works. She was here till after 5 or 6 last night getting everything set up. She was in here early this morning. She encourages your kids. She comes in early to meet with them. She just puts a lot into it, and it is organized so well. And so we just wanted to express our appreciation for you, and there's some flowers, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I couldn't do what I do without the kids. It's really about that. So thank you all for coming. Inventors, you can take your inventions home with you tonight, okay? And I think after vacation, maybe those of you that want to go on to the States will get together and we'll talk. Does that sound like a plan? All right, nice job. Be proud of yourselves. You did an awesome job.
Time for us to go.